Hello and welcome back to our channel. This time we are talking about a cruise line that has completely rewritten the rules.
We're reviewing our first ever Virgin Voyages cruise on Resilient Lady. This was not your typical cruise.
From pyjama parties to an overnight in Amsterdam, plus some of the best cruise food we have ever tasted.
In this video, we're going to share with you everything we wish we knew before boarding Virgin Voyages, from the app to Scarlet Night to all of the other entertainment and dining venues on board. So if you're curious or confused, stick around. Hi, we are Tom and Dog Travel, and we release a new cruise and travel related video every single week. So if you haven't done so already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and don't forget to give this video a like. Now, before we start with our review, we'd love to hear your feedback. Have you sailed with Virgin Voyages before? Are you thinking about sailing with Virgin? Let us know what you think in the comment box below.
Well, let's kick things off by talking about all the pre-boarding information you need.
All your pre-boarding information has to be submitted and uploaded to the Virgin Voyages app. This can be downloaded to your smartphone or tablet via the App Store.
Here on the app is also the place where you can choose your embarkation time. If you are a rock star, mega rock star, or have the Splash of Romance package, you get to board early. After that, for everyone else, you get normal boarding times, but make sure you get on that app as soon as possible to secure those early boarding spaces.
On board each of the Virgin cruise ships, they've got a really great selection of dining venues, and prior to boarding, you can reserve your spot in these venues. Now, for normal sailors, reservations open 45 days before you're sailing. However, if you're a rock star or a mega rock star, you can access these reservations from 60 days prior. Now, don't panic about reserving your spot because Virgin only release around 30% of reservations. So if you really want to dine in the wake at a certain time on a certain day and all of those spots have gone, all you need to do is book once you're on board. You can do this by walking up to the restaurant or by logging onto the Virgin Voyages app and securing your dining reservation.
Another thing that you can pre-book way in advance of your sailing is excursions. If you want to go on a particular excursion, get in there early, and once again, rock stars and mega rock stars get first choice, and then it's on to you ordinary sailors.
Prior to boarding, you can also book a range of spa treatments as well as any add-ons to your cruise, such as the Splash of Romance package.
Now, the Splash of Romance package is the easiest way to secure early embarkation. That also comes with a spa pass as well as treats delivered into your cabin and that infamous shake for champagne.
One really interesting thing about Virgin Voyages is they didn't provide us with any luggage tags. Now, we didn't even think about these until we arrived at the port, but fortunately with Virgin, you drop your bags off at the cruise port, and that's when they'll attach all of your cabin details to each piece of luggage. The port angels were really helpful, really knowledgeable, and it was no problems at all.
Virgin are currently trialling luggage tags on selected voyages, so this could change in the future.
Unfortunately for our sailing out of Portsmouth, due to the bad weather, our embarkation was delayed by around about 3 hours. Virgin did keep us completely updated with the change in times and what was going on, and we really did appreciate that.
Now, Virgin are strict with their boarding time, so make sure you turn up at your boarding time on the app, otherwise you will not be allowed to board. Just before you get on board at boarding, you do get given your Virgin Voyages wearable, which is a band, red for sailors and black for rock stars. This enables you to pay for everything on board, plus gives you access to your stateroom.
For our sailing out of Portsmouth, because of the delayed embarkation and everybody turning up at the cruise terminal a little bit early, it was chaotic when we arrived, and due to the fact that it was the first sailing for Virgin Voyages out of Portsmouth that season, it was really confusing on where we needed to go.
Once we had collected our Virgin Voyages wearable, we headed straight to Resilient Lady. Resilient Lady is the third ship in Virgin Voyages fleet, and she was launched in 2023. She has capacity for 2,770 guests plus another 1,160 crew. Now, one thing that Virgin is famous for is having no kids, and of course that is still the case. It's an adults only cruise line.
When we first stepped on board Resilient Lady, the vibe hit us straight away. It was cool, modern and grown up. We entered the ship at the roundabout, and wow, we were really impressed as soon as we boarded. The Happenings cast were in great spirits, welcoming all of the sailors on board.
And that is a really good point, Dom, because Virgin call their passengers sailors.
The roundabout is kind of a central atrium type area with a beautiful spiral staircase. There's often entertainment hosted here, and during Scarlet Night, it's definitely a hub of activity. Fortunately, in the main atrium, there was a help station already, because I think a lot of sailors can have some difficulties with their wearable bands, and there was a member of staff on hand to support us.
Let's talk about some of those key places on the ship. Now, Dom's already mentioned the roundabout, which is the hub of activity and the central area of the ship, but also there are so many other spaces.
So now let's take a look at some of the areas and venues on board Resilient Lady, because Virgin is unlike any other cruise ship we've ever sailed on.
So come along with us and take a look around the ship and let us know what you think in the comments below. First up is the dock. Now this is right at the back of the ship. It's a chic Mediterranean style outdoor venue, and we loved spending afternoons here watching the wake.
The dock house is the dock's indoor counterpart. It's got a laid back beach club vibe, offering live acoustic music, comfy seating and small plates in a cool shaded setting.
Now one of our favourite venues on board has to be the Manor. This is a glitzy 2-storey nightclub inspired by 1970s glam rock with mirrored hallways, which has to be the most famous spot on the ship for those Instagrammable selfies. This is also the place where you'll find lots of Virgin parties and late night DJs.
Resilient Lady's got a sleek and modern casino, offering classic casino games like poker, blackjack and slots in a high energy Vegas style atmosphere. The casino bar on board was also open until very late, way past most of the other venues opening time, so it was always a great spot to get that last little nightcap in.
Now somewhere that some of you may enjoy, but maybe me and Dom didn't use so much, was the Athletic Club. Now this is a retro style open air sports bar and fitness space featuring day beds, boxing ring, and of course has those panoramic views. Virgin also have a famous net right at the top of the ship looking down towards the dock. Now this is not for everyone, and we have to say, while it is a bit of a thrill, it's definitely not the most comfy space to sit and lie.
Virgin Voyages have got so many spaces and venues on board the ship for people that enjoy sporting activities. Another venue on board is the Social Club. This is a casual carnival inspired hangout with vintage arcade games, air hockey and classic fare snacks like popcorn and hot dogs.
The Loose Cannon was one of the venues we stopped off in during the grog walk. This is a pirate style bar with nautical theming, featuring sea inspired drinks.
The Draft House, located in the main atrium, was another stop on our grog walk. It's a modern tap room offering a curated selection of craft beers and ciders in a cool pub-like environment with minimalist styling.
While most cruise ships have a standard theatre, Virgin once again do something different, and they have a multifunctional room that is known as the Red Room. This is where you'll find theatre style shows like no other cruise ship, as well as shows by the Diva and of course bingo.
If you're looking for a more of a relaxed venue, the Sip Lounge is definitely the place to be. It's an elegant champagne bar. It's beautifully decorated. It's ideal for celebrating with bubbles or indulging in the afternoon tea. This was also the first venue we visited on the grog walk.
If you are a fan of karaoke, why not head to the Groupie? Now there are several different rooms depending on your party size where you can go and sing your heart out to your favourite karaoke tune.
Karaoke suites can be booked once on board, and they did fill up really quickly, so if you are a fan of karaoke, we definitely recommend that you book these up as soon as you board. Located in the roundabout on the lower floor is On the Rocks. Now this is a moody upscale cocktail bar featuring live music and a focus on craft cocktails and mixology in a sophisticated loungy atmosphere. And in here you'll often find the Diva performing.
The place that everyone wants to go to, but only rock stars and mega rock stars are allowed to enter, is Richard's Rooftop. Now this is an exclusive area right at the front of the ship. The most famous time to be in Richard's Rooftop is of course during sunset hour, where you get a selection of drinks unlimited for that 1 hour. Also in Richard's Rooftop there are 2 hot tubs, a selection of day beds and a bar for you to get drinks throughout the day, as well as special snacks you can't get anywhere else on on board the ship.
The Aquatic Club is Virgin Voyages' main pool deck. It has a trendy resort-style aesthetic surrounded by plush loungers, a lively bar, and often a DJ spinning some poolside beats.
The pool on Virgin Voyages has been contentious since the day it was revealed. Is it too small? Well, we actually think probably not. It is perfect for events like Scarlet Night, and that is when it sees the most action.
Located on the deck above the pool deck is the Sun Club. This is a more peaceful sunbathing retreat with soft lounges and panoramic ocean views, perfect for soaking up the rays.
Right at the top of the ship, you'll find the jogging track, also known as the runway. This is perfect for those who are feeling more energetic or just want to go for a run in order to earn yourself another cocktail. Right next to the jogging track, you will find the perch. This is a wellness space that often hosts yoga. It's also the place where you can sunbathe topless.
As we previously mentioned, Virgin do cater for sports enthusiasts, and there's a small area for games like basketball and pickleball.
Virgin Voyages do retail really well, and you'll find a good selection of shops and duty-free outlets available. But one thing that Virgin Voyages does have that is completely unique, and that is Squid Ink, an onboard tattoo parlour. This is exceptionally popular, so make sure you get along early and book your slot.
And Virgin Voyages Resilient Lady has a full wraparound prom. It's got a number of outdoor seating areas as well as some alfresco dining options.
Overall, we think all of these venues have a unique appeal. They are traditional in some ways but have a Virgin twist. We love that everything is slightly different, which makes a refreshing difference from those ordinary mainstream cruise lines.
The venues on board do have a premium feel. Virgin have spent a lot of time, money and effort designing each venue, and we really enjoyed exploring each and every one.
One area of the ship we haven't shown you yet, and that is our cabin.
One benefit of cruising with Virgin is as soon as you board, your cabin should be ready.
Yes, with those later embarkation times, it means you can start enjoying your cruise straight away. Now, we stayed in an ocean view cabin right next to sailor services. A little different to ocean view cabins that we've had before. Our cabin came with an enlarged porthole, which meant we had some great views, and one of the benefits of that, there was a seat right in front of that porthole. It was perfect for watching the sea go by.
Virgin has made the space super efficient. There's loads of hidden storage, there's USBs everywhere, there's a tablet that controls the lights, curtain and TV.
We really enjoyed the feel of this cabin, but some people have described it as being very IKEA-like. What do you think?
For our sailing, the cabin was perfect. We were sailing in August, the weather wasn't that great, so we didn't miss the outdoor space, and it just meant we still had some natural light coming in the room. That seat in front of the window was a great addition to the cabin, and we'd happily stay in it again. If you'd like to see our full tour and review, I'll pop a link on screen and in the description.
Well, it wouldn't be a Tom and Dom review if we didn't then go on to talk about food, and Virgin does food outstandingly.
One of the biggest surprises for us, Virgin has no main dining room. If we were to compare dining on Virgin to other ships, you are essentially eating in specialty restaurants every single night.
That's right, Dom. You can dine in up to 9 signature restaurants right across the ship at no extra cost. I say no extra cost, but some items on the menu are chargeable, but every single restaurant does have a full menu of included options. And we tried a selection of them. Let's go through some of the things that we ate on board. We headed to the Wake, which has elegant steakhouse vibes and gorgeous sea views. We both had steak and it was fantastic.
It came with a selection of sides and sauces, and we left the Wake very happy.
When we headed to Gun Bay, we had a real interactive experience, from games to live cooking, plus we also had shots provided by our waitress.
We also dined in Razzle Dazzle. It's a quirky, veggie forward spot. However, don't let that put you off, because they do have a really great selection of meat options for those carnivores out there.
One of the places that I absolutely loved was Extra Virgin. They had pasta to die for, and trying some of their pasta was great. Although Dom was a little bit disappointed with his chicken dish.
Extra Virgin is the onboard Mediterranean-inspired restaurant.
Somewhere that we often frequented late at night was the galley. Now here they served breakfast all through the night, and we were sure to try that after a bit of partying. During the day, the galley offers food court style meals. Think sushi, bento boxes, burgers, anything you can think of, the galley has got it. The menu changes from breakfast and lunch through to dinner, so there's lots of options no matter when you want something to eat.
Another late night favourite of ours had to be the pizza place. Now this is open during the day until late at night, and you can get beautiful handmade pizzas.
Every restaurant we visited felt like a proper 5-star experience. The food was top quality, the service was exceptional. The whole vibe on board Virgin Voyages was that of entering a top restaurant in any city around the world.
Whether we chose to dine in the galley, the pizza place, or even in the wake, the food quality was outstanding. The presentation was just perfect, and we could not fault the service in any way. Unlike traditional cruise lines where the main dining room is open for breakfast, here on Virgin Voyages, the galley is the place to come for breakfast. However, if you do fancy a little bit of brunch, the wake and razzle dazzle are open.
For an extra charge, you can make this a boozy brunch with a great selection of drinks.
As most of the dining venues on Virgin Voyages are similar to that specialities, Virgin do like you to try them all. So if you're on a short sailing, you'll only be able to reserve a restaurant once during your cruise.
If you are feeling a little bit peckish in between those meals, Virgin has got you covered. There are plenty of snack options on board. First of all, we think the dock is a great place to head for those meze style meals, and even check out those opera hours for more Greek flavours.
In the social club, you'll also be able to pick up fresh chicken wings and a selection of hot dogs.
And if you're looking for a way to cool off, why not head to Lick Me Till I Scream for those gelatos and ice creams. Head here for those tasty sweet treats.
And they're all included in your cruise fare. The Sun Club Cafe overlooking the pool deck also has Hawaiian Asian fusion cuisine, which includes those bao buns.
And if you did fancy some quick bites, there are sushi, bento and salad boxes available in the galley. Two of the restaurants that we didn't make it to on our sailing were Test Kitchen and Pink Agave. Now, we have since heard exceptional things about Pink Agave and a bit of a mixed review about Test Kitchen. Pink Agave is a Mexican-inspired restaurant, and Test Kitchen is the place to go if you enjoy experimental flavours. If you have tried those venues, please let us know, and on our next Virgin sailing, we'll be sure to check those out. One thing we haven't spoken about, but is integral to mine and Dom's cruise, and that is the drinks. On Virgin Voyages, soft drinks, tea, coffee and water are included in the cruise fare. So, in theory, you could go on board and not spend a penny. But if you're like me and Dom, we do like a good alcoholic drink, and Virgin do it exceptionally well.
Virgin Voyages don't offer a traditional all-inclusive cruise fare where you can purchase a drinks package. They offer a bar tab system. Now you can top up your bar tab prior to boarding or on the first day of your cruise, and what tends to happen is if you say add $300, Virgin will give you $350 to spend on board. Virgin Voyages also offer Sailor's Loot. Now this is a little bit more versatile than a bar tab because this can be used to purchase pretty much everything on board.
And at time of booking, keep an eye out because Virgin often do promotions where you can get Sailor's Loot included.
If you've got both bar tab and Sailor's Loot, your bar tab will be used first for any alcoholic drinks.
To sum up the drinks on board, there is a huge selection. We would recommend going around each bar and checking out the menu because all of them have unique drinks specifically for those areas. And don't forget this top tip, look out for those free drinks that Virgin give away during your cruise. This could be at the sail away party. If you have Deep Blue extras, they have special events. Plus, if you've had the Splash of Romance package, there is also free drinks during your special event. So keep an eye out for all those free drinks once on board. Whilst in your cabin, you can also enjoy both food and drink through Virgin's Ship Eats. Now that is basically room service. You can order anything you like and it will be delivered to your cabin for you to enjoy.
Top hint, there is a cover charge for food. However, if you purchase an alcoholic drink, that cover charge is waived. So now we've spoken about the ship, the food, our cabin. Let's talk about the other thing that really impressed us while we were on board, and that's the entertainment.
Entertainment on Virgin Voyages is wild. Well, it was in our sailing anyway.
We still haven't recovered.
But it is absolutely in a good way. You won't find the usual West End style productions here. The entertainment is action-packed and varied.
Instead, you'll get immersive offbeat shows like the Misbehaved show, which was chaotic, hilarious and very interactive. If you're on board, you have to go and see it because you will laugh from the beginning all the way through to the end.
Earlier we mentioned the grog walk, and that is something we booked on day one. It is a great way to get to know the happenings cast and find your way around the ship, as well as enjoying included cocktails in each bar you visit. Think of it as a pub crawl but done the Virgin Voyages way.
This experience definitely gave us the opportunity to interact and engage with other sailors on board our cruise. They had a great selection of cocktails. I think there was one that was perhaps a little bit questionable. We got the opportunity to tour some venues around the ship, and it also gave us early access to the pyjama party.
And one thing that you do get when you do the grog walk is a little mask that identifies who you are, so you can know all the other people on board who are part of the grog walk.
You do have to pay an additional charge to take part in the grog walk, and for our sailing it was $50 per person. When you include the whole experience as well as those cocktails, we think is great value for money.
Now Dom, you just mentioned the pyjama party, and that was definitely a highlight of our voyage. It is exactly what you think it's going to be. We headed to the manor, dressed in our pyjamas and partied late into the night.
Unfortunately, due to the weather, our pyjama party had to be held in the manor, but traditionally it's held in the athletic club.
The pyjama party was really well attended, with majority of sailors dressed in their pyjamas, so definitely don't be afraid to get dressed up.
And then the event we were most looking forward to, Scarlet Night. The whole ship just turned into a red-themed celebration with pop-up performances, dance parties and surprises around every corner. Everyone gets involved, and it's honestly one of the best nights at sea we've ever had.
Make sure you check out the timings in the app because things go on throughout the ship. Head to the roundabout for the glam station, also the story of Scarlet Night, and then make sure you're up on deck ready for that pool party.
The glam station allows you to get fully immersed in Scarlet Night.
Hosted by the Happenings cast, the glam station is the place to go right at the start of Scarlet Night to get yourself ready for the action.
Make sure you check when the glam station opens and get there early because it is very popular.
And of course, don't forget, at the end of Scarlet Night, will you be jumping in the pool? Because this is the only ship we've been on where at night you can get in.
It was a really unique experience. Absolutely freezing, but so much fun.
That's more down to the weather in the English Channel than the ship itself. On the final night of our cruise, we got to see a fantastic show, Lola's Library. This was a full-on high-energy show where you had people swinging from the ceiling and giving their most. There were dancers that were coming through the crowd, and everyone in the manor had the best time.
It was a very immersive performance. Dancers were in amongst the crowd, standing on tables. A great night's entertainment. The entertainment on board Virgin Voyages was both varied, engaging and just so much fun. We had a great time. The one thing we did take away was just how different everything was in terms of timings and scheduling compared to other cruise lines.
Keep an eye in your Virgin Voyages app at the schedule because that will tell you when all the events are taking place. Now, if you are not a fan of the app at all, paper copies of the schedule are available from Sailor Services. As we were only on a short cruise, we only had one port of call, and that was Amsterdam. But this is where Virgin Voyages got it spot on. For us, we got to experience Amsterdam by day and by night.
Most cruise lines give you one rush day, but Virgin lets you stay overnight, meaning we had dinner on board the ship, then wandered the canals at night, and we even got to explore more the next day.
With all that extra time, it meant we could book an excursion on the canals during the day where we sipped wine and tasted some local food, which was really an enjoyable experience and a new way to learn more about Amsterdam itself.
Excursions can be booked before you board or once you get on the ship. We always find that cruise line excursions are more expensive than what you can find yourself, and perhaps this is one of the similarities that Virgin has with other cruise lines.
Yeah, short excursions are expensive, so we chose to book our canal cruise with cheese and wine ourselves, and we'll leave a link in the description below.
Being able to explore Amsterdam by day and by night was a great experience, and we got to see the best of Amsterdam.
Well, that was a huge amount of information, and Virgin Voyages definitely do so much that is right. So the big question is, would we cruise with Virgin Voyages again?
Absolutely, it's not for everyone. If you love formality and tradition, it might not be your thing.
But if you want something that's modern, stylish and even a little bit cheeky, then Virgin Voyages nails it.
They may be different to other cruise lines, but the food was superb, the entertainment fully engaging,
Cocktails to die for, and best of all, no kids.
This short sailing gave us a great taste of what Virgin Voyages is all about. We've already started looking at a longer itinerary for next time, and maybe a Rockstar suite.
Who knows? But let us know in the comments below, is Virgin Voyages a cruise that you've sailed on, or is it something that is on your list to try? We'd love to know where you stand on the Virgin Voyages experience. To see everything that we got up to on board Virgin Voyages Resilient Lady, we have a full vlog series available on our channel.
Thanks for watching our Virgin Voyages review. If you've got any comments or questions, just pop them in the box below and we'll get back to you. If you'd like to support us in creating future content and receiving exclusive benefits, we're also available on Patreon and through YouTube channel memberships.
Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. We've got lots more content available on our YouTube channel, so press that subscribe button. If you're interested in receiving daily updates, we're available on most social media platforms. Just search for Tom and Dom Travel.